Hey, Pat.
Hi.
How's it
John,
going?
Pat,
How are you doing?
good.
All right. You ready? Whenever?
No. As you come in, this is a business meeting.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. Sorry. All right. Restart.
I said, that's why I said, I'm
Oh,
John, not Pat.
oh, I didn't hear you say that. Okay. Sorry. All right. Right.
Okay.
Hi, John. Dylan Speckman with ReliQuest. How are you doing
Good
today?
to meet you.
Great to meet you. I really want to thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. I really appreciate that.
Thanks.
So I know I saw you've been with DLL for about 6 years now. How do you like the company?
Great company to work for. The people are great from top on down.
That's good to
Really
hear.
good company.
How have the people in the company been doing in terms of adjusting to the coronavirus and everything?
Well, it's funny. I read this whole article about how over the last 10 years, more and more companies have been migrating to online business meetings.
Right,
Well, we were in the forefront of that.
right. Well,
Uh,
good for you.
we still did a lot of face-to-face, but most of our initial meetings and a lot of our contracting done just like this. We've been
Well,
doing that for years.
that's awesome that you guys have the head start. Puts you in a much better position than a lot of other companies are
Yes,
in
it
right
did.
now. So today I'd really just like to talk to you because I know that my company, ReliQuest, and our product can be very helpful for DLL, especially in terms of some problems you might be having with your Garvin account. Um, and I think I know actually that we can save you a lot of time, money, energy, and can improve your security operations, make them much more seamless, effective, and efficient process. So I'm really here today for you, and because I think our company can be a big benefit to you.
Well, that's great, except understand from exactly, I'm a sales guy. I think I know how to spell security, but that's the limit of my knowledge.
Right, right,
My problem is very much related to security.
right.
But don't give me any of those nerd words.
So, so I completely understand. I will definitely make sure to do a high level overview with you, but tell me more about your concern that you still are interested in hearing about the
Oh,
security,
definitely,
and
definitely.
it works for you for me to keep it at a high level, right?
Yep. Exactly. I met with some other security people. In the first 5 minutes, they started
Of course.
using SIEM and BUSS and
That's the worst.
and bullshit. And I'm going, total waste of my time. Total waste of my
You
time.
don't have to worry about that with me. So we're on the same page with that.
Thank you.
Today, I'd just like about 15 minutes of your time, like I said, to talk with you about your company, DLL, and your Garvin account, to talk about my company, ReliQuest, and our product. And we can both learn from each other, see if our companies would be a good fit for each other. Does this all sound good with you?
Sounds great.
Awesome. And now, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about your company as a whole, DLL, and maybe dive in a little bit to your account that you manage, the Garvin account. Does that sound cool?
Yep.
Great. So firstly, if there was to be a future meeting, is there anyone else that we might need to pull into that meeting?
No, you wouldn't even meet with me again.
Okay.
Jeannie Ann Broadwell is the CISO.
Got it.
And she'd be the person you would meet with.
Perfect.
I'm
Okay.
not like the instigator.
Right. And then if we did decide to go ahead and create a partnership between our two companies, what do you think the timeline would look like for that? Is the security product something you're looking to adopt within the next few weeks, few months, or maybe a few years down the road?
I can tell you my timeline, which doesn't mean much. Jeannie Ann came to me and says, probably next week, we're going to disband the agreement with Garvin.
Okay. So you gotta get on that quick.
So I want to get to a meeting with her quick.
Well, I would love to get that moving for you, get the ball rolling. Good thing we're here talking today.
Yep.
And another thing, so we want to come to a partnership. What are some things that DLL would look for and need to see in a security company such as ReliQuest in order to consider adoption of the product?
I couldn't even begin to answer that question. Again, no idea. But what I can answer is something that we're told the first day we come to work here. we have customers, and we have vendors. And on both sides, we need to look at how is this a good relationship? How do we help them? Because that's how they help us,
Right.
whether you're a customer or a vendor.
Yep. Gotcha.
So
Got
that's what we look for.
100%. And so I've done a lot of research into your company, DLL, and I've done a little digging also into Garvan, and I've seen how that's posing some problems, some challenges for your company. And like you just said, you might have to cut off that account within the next week, which would obviously be a big loss to you. But I want to go through and kind of tell you kind of some of the needs or challenges that I think you might be facing. But I'd also really appreciate it if you could jump in at any time and let me know if you think of any other challenges or issues that you've been
Okay,
experiencing.
that's the way you want to proceed. Okay.
Sounds good. If that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So firstly, with the Garvan account, I know that a lot of their employees have been working online, and this is causing maybe some vulnerability in their security system, and that vulnerability isn't good for you guys because a hack into their system could ultimately lead to a much bigger breach in your system. Does this sound correct?
Well, these people, what's happened is, like in the US, they went to a lockdown.
Yep.
Now, the researchers are still in the lab, but everybody else is working from home
Right.
on their home network.
Which need to be covered. Yep.
Well, but there's no firewall security, or they're not going through their systems. And that's where Jeannie Ann said she thinks the problem occurred.
Yep.
Started in March. She said, as soon as they went home, she started seeing 4 and 6-fold increase
Yep.
in
Right.
attacks.
Yeah.
And she said why she thinks it's them is for one day, she pulled the plug on all communications with Garvin,
Hmm.
and the attacks went right down.
Wow. Wow.
Let
Amazing.
the emails pass through again, and they skyrocket up again.
So clearly we need to find an answer to that problem.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned, the vulnerability of all the employees working from home, and then you kind of got into a little bit that alert overload that's coming with Garvan. So
Exactly.
all these threats that are coming in, and it might just be people putting in the wrong password to their email, and it's overloading your security team, and that's not good for you. How is that something that you see happening? Like you
Well,
mentioned, the threat detection.
it's the threat. I mean, that's what's happened. And
Exactly.
Jeannie said, in order to cover it properly, her 10 system analysts would probably have to go to 30 or 40.
Right. And
It's like,
what
wait,
is the price?
wait.
What does the price look like for that?
Yeah. Each one of those guys is well over 100K.
Yep.
If you can find them.
And even if you do find them and pay the money for them, you don't even know if they're going to be the ones. You don't know if they're going to
Right.
solve the problem.
Right.
So that's definitely not a road you want to go down. And ultimately, those things come together, and if you can't find a problem for that, you'll end up losing that Garvin account, like you said, right?
Well, oh yeah, unless we can do something quickly.
And this is one of your most profitable accounts. Is that correct?
For me personally,
Right. So
I don't even know, beyond that. The other issue with that is, I mean, Jeannie says, don't go after any other big medical research facilities.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, we got a great sample here with Garvin
Right.
that I can use as a reference. And she's saying, don't make money.
Right. Jeez. So clearly that is something that needs to be addressed. And then off the top of your head, I know you said you're not a security person, you're not a tech person, but what other challenges or issues have you been seeing in regards to the Garvin account and the security system of DLL?
I mean, let's talk about, I don't even know what they do. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, the issue that Jeannie brought to me is huge increase in hits. Taking while people are working, just there's some of them are working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Right.
These
All
are
that stress.
people.
Yeah.
She can't find them, and now some of the people who are here are going, I can't do this.
Yep.
And
Too much stress.
she's thinking they're going to quit.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, You
They're
could
so
just
terrible.
you could just beat a horse so much
Right.
before it gives up.
So if ReliQuest and our product Gray Matter was able to cover that vulnerability of those employees working from home on their computers or cell phones, how do you see that helping the problem?
Well, that I mean, basically, you're solving my problem. If the
Exactly.
number of hits goes down,
Yep.
she doesn't need more people. People aren't working 18 hours a day.
Exactly. Same for the threat detection. If ReliQuest was able to more effectively manage those threats and those alerts, you wouldn't have an overload and your
Yes,
employees wouldn't be as stressed. You agree?
exactly.
Right,
That's
right.
what she needs.
Yep. So we've got the vulnerability, the overloads of the threats, and that's just exponentially making problems worse for your employees. And obviously, you don't want to be spending lots of money to double your security team, but you also don't want to lose your account. So I think you can see the benefit that our product might offer to you. Would you be willing to take another few more minutes just to learn a little bit more
Yeah,
about
yeah, let's
our
see.
company?
Yeah.
Sounds
What
good.
I'm going to do is bring it to Jeannie. So give me some good stuff.
Yes, sir. So I don't know if you're familiar with Zoom. It's a neat little application, but I can share my screen with you, and you can
I
actually.
got to give you permission.
Okay.
Remember, we've been living on Zoom. We're the guy's been doing it for 10 years. Okay, you can share your screen.
So you should be able to see in just a few seconds everything that I'm seeing. And
Yep.
I first just want to give you a high-level rundown of our company and our product, Gray Matter. Firstly, our headquarters are in Tampa, ReliQuest headquarters. We're a private company, operations in Vegas and Dublin. We were founded in 2007. And then here on the screen, are you able to see what's on the screen?
Yeah, yes.
Great. And then here on the screen, some other really fascinating statistics of our company. 185 current customers. Some of those.
Sorry, let me just interrupt you for just a second because I told you I spoke to some other security people.
Right.
One of them said you guys are in a big lawsuit.
Well, tell me more. What concerns you about that?
He said, look it up online. I haven't had a chance to do it. Hell, I mean, if you guys were about to lose your shirt in a huge
Well,
lawsuit.
we have some very big companies that we deal with. We have Southwest, Abercrombie and Fitch, St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So a very reputable company. There always will be small little problems with any
What
company.
about this lawsuit?
Like I said, there's always small little problems with every company, but I can assure you that it's nothing you would have to worry about. We're putting all of our focus and attention to DLL and helping you with this Garvin account.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Go on.
Does
Let me
that
do more research on it.
make you feel a little more comfortable?
I'll go do some more research.
So finishing up the numbers, like I said, the 185 current customers, some of those big names, like I said, Southwest,
Yep.
St. Children Research, 97% average retention rate. And then my favorite one personally is the $10 billion average customer size, and that's the annual revenues. And so there's a high level overview of our company. And now moving into what's really going to benefit you, our product, Gray Matter. So Gray Matter is a first of its kind technology that's only offered by ReliQuest, and it integrates disparate technologies to provide a unified, actionable view, and it's increasing your efficiency. You're going to be more efficient, more productive, more effective in terms of your security system. And this is only going to save you time and money, like I said, stress as well.
Mhm.
And
Well,
going
not me, but the other guys. Going to save me stress, but the other guys time.
everybody, yep. And so going into the vulnerability we talked about with the Garvin employees working from home, that's where Gray Matter really can come in, and it acts as a blanket, connecting all of these gaps, covering security for all of those third party devices, their computers, their cell phones. That's going to come in and eliminate any of those security issues. They're going to be fully covered,
Even
and
their cell phones.
even their cell phones. Yep.
Oh, okay.
And so that's going to be very important for DLL in terms of making sure that there's not a breach in their company. And then moving on to the alert overload and the threat detection that Garvin's been having, and that's been causing problems for you guys. With Gray Matter, you're going to see a 400% improvement in those threat detection capabilities, and that's through some of our processes, such as our automation of the computer going through with algorithms and detection. We're actually running a library of 600 plus rules across the kill chain,
Oh, wow.
with rapid response actions. And that's just in the first 90 days of onboarding that you'll see that. And so with that 400%, you could really see that helping and being a benefit to
Definitely.
DLL, right?
Yeah.
And then
Okay, that's saying we're gonna have to wrap it up real quick because,
just two more minutes, if that's okay with you.
yeah, yeah.
And so ultimately, like you said, all these things are just coming together to create more stress for your employees, and you might even consider quitting. So with 400% improvement in those threat detections, and that's just going to be decreasing the alerts and the security that's going to be provided by Gray Matter in terms of covering Garvin and all of their online employees. Can you see this being beneficial to DLL? Is
I
this
could
something
see
that you're looking
Jeannie.
for?
I'd want to take this to Jeannie.
Right. So having talked about all these things and how beneficial our product could be for you, the 30% decrease in cost of ownership as well, that's a nice added perk, along with mostly in terms of you guys, the threat detection. So I think you can really see how beneficial this could be for you. Would you like you just said with Jeannie, would you like to set up another meeting and we could talk a little bit
Well,
more
what I
detail?
do, if you can email me this, I want to bring it to Jeannie and say, you got to meet with Dylan.
Well,
I'll get the meeting.
I'll certainly email you over all these slides that I'm showing you now. But for now, why don't we just set up a date? Maybe does earlier or later next week work?
I mean, I will get you the meeting by Monday. It's Friday. I will get you the meeting by Monday.
And
Right after this, as soon as I get this, I'm going to run into our office.
sounds good. And in the meantime, do you have Jeannie's phone number or email available?
Well, let me not do that. I will get back to you. You have me. You know where I live. I will get you the meeting with Jeannie.
Sounds good. Well, I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Okay, Dylan, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.